Hi, welcome to this second part of our video tutorial on XMacro. So in the first part, we show you how why you want to use XMacro in a program, and we show you the importance of introducing XMacro in this program here. Now in this example here, you are going to replace this program here with XMacro. So we are going to start with the example 01 here, the first example here on XMacro. So in order to do that, we are going to create a new program. This is going to be a new C++ file. So here we replace this one by C++, and then here we are going to rename it to 2. So that is it here. Then we are going to put the header as usual. And then before going to further, so I hope you are familiar with the definitions of macro. When you want to use a macro in our program, for example, you want to use pi, then this is how we define it. So when we define this one, we can use this variable here in our code, and each time we call this one, this value here, pi here, is going to be replaced by 3.14. This is how we use it. But with X macro, we push this concept further by adding here stuff like list and some complex data structure or even snippet here. So that's what we are going to do. So coming back to our first program here, we have defined what we did in our program was to define this enum manually. So before going here, we are going to define our list. We are going to define our list. This is the first step. So here we are going to write the same thing. So if we come here and write define, this is our list name, and then this slash here just mean next line. So this is just appending. You are just appending. So once I generate the code, we will see what it means. So we append a new things, a new element in our list. This is red. We can go further here. So we push this one back, push this one back. Let's stop here. We have red, we have green. Of course, let's include here. We add red, green, blue, yellow. So red, green, blue, yellow. Here is our list that we have just defined. So this is the process of creating our X macro. By defining our list, we can see that this backslash here is not added in the last element of our list. Then on this one is done here. We are just creating a list now, so that we can use it here, here, and here. So in order to do that now, let's go back and then define the second step of our program here. So I will be pausing a bit to write the code so that to make it faster. So, and then next here will just be this one. So what is happening here is that we are trying now to recreate our enum here. So what we do now, we write the color, and then we define define this x name. This x here is this one here, but whatever here is a variable. So whatever is here is passed to x here is one argument that is passed to our function. Let's call it our function's x is taking one argument. So the same thing is named here. And then this return, what is going to return? So it's going to return the name, this argument that we pass to it, followed by a comma. And then the syntax is like this. When we write, we have to write again our list. This is just like a loop. So it will loop through all our lists and replace it with the content of our list here. And then we undefine x. So that is it. Now, and then, so that is one thing now. So if you go, for example, now and let's try to do one thing here. So if I write CPP, C preprocessor, and then I type XMacro 02.cpp, it's not working. Let's go to the CMD. Let's go again here and go to the folder, and if you type xcpp2, let's see what is happening now. So our program is running. So this is the C pre-processing. Here is the pre-processing that's happening at the compile time. And then we can see that some stuff are running in the background. So let's see what will be the output. It's really taking a long time. What we try to see is how our code here, this code will look like once it is expanded. And then you can see that it's really taking a long time. So this might be a drawback of using XMacro, because we can see the compilation time here is taking really long. And once it's finished here, we can see that our enum here is created. So you can see this is how our list here is created, is expanded. So what we have now, if we get side by side, we can see that in our code we define this, but once the call is pre-compiled, pre-processed here, then it is expanded, and then we can see that this enum here become a normal code. So it is converted into a normal code. So this is what is happening at this stage in our program. So now let's continue further. Let's continue further by also replacing these two lists here in our functions. So in order to do that now, let's go to new step. Step 3. In step 3 here, we go a bit step by step. So what we need here, we take our function's name, which is here, and then we need our switch, Here is our functions that we just define. Then we open our switch here. We can close it. So here we are passing one argument here, our color here, to a switch key. Then you have to define different cases. So in order to define different cases here, we start with we bring this one here. Define X here. So now we try to look into the list. The same thing that we did here, we are going to repeat the same thing here, except that here, what we return here is not only the name, we are not returning the name, but we are returning, it's not yet there, you have not yet generated that. So we are returning this one. So this statement here, we want to return, for example, this statement here. So in order to do that here, then we need to, we can see if we take this one and add it here. So we have our case here. Normally this red here is an argument. So what we do, we replace this one with name. Simple as that. Return is still return. Now we need to return the string. And in order to return a string, in order to return a string here, what we do is there is a special syntax with that. We have to use hash followed by the argument that we have. Then the column remains the column. So you have seen what we have done. We just do the replacement here. We are making an abstraction here. So then we are going to add our list, right? Then same thing that we did here, we are going to undefine our macros here. So we undefine our X functions here. So it is finished. Then now the last thing which does not follow our pattern here is this default unknown. So we leave it as it is. So we just use the same list now to create strings. So we have used this list now, our X macro now, to create one portions of our code. Even we can say our functions here using X macro. So that is it now. And then as usual here, we are going to use our main here in the last stage. So same as before, we keep it, and here everything is as before, but we have used now X macro. So that is it now. And then now each time that we want to add a new element to our list, we don't need to come here and modify our code. It is more flexible. We can just come now and suppose you want to add a new element here, we can just come here and add a new element to our list. We don't need to bother again, and we can make here like black, right? This is black here. This is a new element that we have added to our list. So we don't need to go here like because we added black here, we have to come here and add it again. This is bringing another flexibility. So once that one is done, now we can compile our code. We can run our code now and see what will be the output. And at the same time, we go here to the CMD. Let's go to the CMD and try to repeat our process here, and then try to run C preprocessor, tools on our code here. When we run that, we can see that it is running. So we can see already here that our code has compiled as before. Here is yellow and it has returned yellow. Now let's see when this one will finish. We are going to see how our code is expanded during the pre-processing. So then, yeah, now if you replace this one with red, same time, then if we run again, it will be running. So when we come to see how our code has been expanded here, so normally here, this is, you are supposed to write all these things, but now it has expanded. We have our new enum here. Here is our functions, which has been expanded with real code taken from the XMacro list, and this code has been generated for us. So instead of writing this everything here, we have reduced that one to only this one here. So maybe it has been too many informations. You can pause it, repeat it again. Then you are going to see at least a use case here. So we have a use case here on using XMacro. So I hope that this tutorial has been useful to you. In the next one, we are going to continue with this advanced use with another use case of XMacro using include this time. Now, so far we have been using only this definitions of the list here, but instead of using this one, we are going to replace this one with include. So we are going to introduce a new file in our program that will act as a database, so as a table to keep data. Without further information, I stop here and stay tuned for the next video. Bye.